Welcome, welcome, Pillar community. My name is Ingrid Ortiz. I am the Career Services Coordinator here at Pillar College. I am so excited this morning to come to you and share this workshop. We have a very special guest with us, Mike Thornton. He is the owner and operator of Chick-Fil-A over at Turtle Road in Watchung. We also have the beautiful Martha Martin, who is here co-hosting with me. Thanks, Martha. We are very excited for the opportunity that Mr. Thornton reached out here at the Career Services Department, wanting to help the Pillar community, both students and alumni. I thought that this was something that was just amazing. A great opportunity to know the ins and outs of how to possibly own or even operate a franchise business. I don't know how many of you have heard of Chick-Fil-A. I know I have. Right? I love me that chicken. And so I'm so excited. I'm so excited to partner with you, Mr. Thornton, and so glad that you are here. Before I pass on the presentation over to Mike, I'm going to open up in prayer and make a few announcements. So let's bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for these opportunities that you continue to bless Pillar College with, Lord. Father, even in the midst of the pandemic, you still open doors. We thank you for that. I pray for each student, for each alumni. I pray for Mike. I pray for Martha and all other staff and faculty who may not make it here today, Lord. I pray that you will have your way, Lord Jesus, and those that need to hear this message, Father God, will be here, present, and even those catching the replay. In Jesus' name, amen. So these sessions are going to be recorded. So if you were not able to make it here today, guess what? Once this is done, we are going to upload this video to the Pillar Student Life YouTube channel. Yay! Woohoo! So you're going to be able to catch all of the replays of past workshops that the Career Services has hosted. But not only will you find Career Services videos, you're also going to find Student Government Association videos that they have uploaded, as well as chapels and Pillar Live chats. Martha?
Leadership talks.
Leadership talks. So you're going to find a whole bunch of playlists over on our channel. So if you have not subscribed, take a moment after this workshop, head on over to YouTube and subscribe. And if you have not joined the Facebook page, we encourage you that you do so as well. I'm going to give Martha a few minutes. If there are any other announcements, any upcoming events that you would like the students and alumni to know, please take this time and feel free to share.
Wow. Okay. Well, we have a library workshop tomorrow. So you can learn about Grammarly or any other kind of writing techniques that you might need help with. That's at 5 o'clock. On Friday night, we have a open mic night that Pillar College and InterVarsity Club are promoting. That sounds fun. I've never been to one. It's 7 p.m. And we have our leadership talk tomorrow at 12 with our very own Dr. Rupert Hales, our COO. So don't miss that one.
Yeah, praise God. So we have a lot of good things going on here at Pillar College. There's always something for you to join, something for you to participate in. So make sure that you check your emails, because Martha does send out email blasts twice a week, so you don't miss none of these events. And of course, if anyone has any questions and you're too shy to come on camera, you can leave your camera off. If you are still shy and don't want to put your voice out there, you can utilize the chat feature to ask any questions, and we will make sure to answer them as best as we can. So now, without further ado, Mr. Mike Thornton, it is all yours.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here and to be able to partner with you guys to just talk about what kind of opportunities I have in my restaurant, but also opportunities that exist in Chick-fil-A as a whole. If you guys are at all familiar with Chick-fil-A, you know that obviously we're known for the best chicken sandwich. I know I'm biased, but we are also growing rapidly, and it's been a crazy couple years. Very thankful to be a part of this company in a time where they're just exploding in popularity. And so, yeah, today I would love to just go over a couple things. We're going to share I'm going to talk about the Chick-fil-A story a little bit and how it came to be, share my story a little bit, and then we're going to talk about just the restaurant and what it's like to lead a multi-million-dollar business. So hold on one second. I'm going to pull up this presentation. Give me one sec. All right. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started with the Chick-fil-A story. So the picture you see in front of you is S. Truett Cathy. The S stands for Samuel. Truett is the founder of Chick-fil-A and also the creator of the chicken sandwich. Truett has been credited with creating the chicken sandwich. You know, I'm sure there was somebody else who, at one point, who might have put a piece of chicken between on a hamburger bun, but Truett is the one who gets the credit. He was the first one to debone the chicken breast and deep fry it and then put it on a hamburger bun at a time when everybody was doing hamburgers. He wanted to do something a little different. He actually, him and his brother were in World War II. And when they got back from the war in 1946, they chose to open their own restaurant in Hateville, Georgia. It's just outside of Atlanta. And that is where he grew to love just serving people and being an entrepreneur. It was a 24-hour diner, and he served people all day and all night, him and his brother, except for Sundays. So, you know, part of that was so that he could continue to go to church and honor God. But also he just needed a day off because they were open 24 hours a day. So they opened the Dwarf House in Atlanta, Georgia, and that is where he created the Chick-fil-A sandwich. For a little while, he actually used the Chick-fil-A sandwich to franchise the recipe out. Back then, you could franchise a single recipe. So for a little bit during the 50s, you could go around Atlanta and get the Chick-fil-A sandwich at a number of different restaurants. But eventually he realized just the strength of the product and chose to open the very first Chick-fil-A in the Greenbrier Mall in Atlanta, Georgia. Still there today. It's not in its original location. They've moved it once or twice, but there's still a mall. Still a restaurant in that mall. And that was the very first Chick-fil-A restaurant. At the time, they just had chicken sandwiches and pie and sweet tea. Wasn't a very big menu, but obviously over the last 50 plus years, we have continued to grow and develop and have a large array of items now. And that leads me to the first freestanding Chick-fil-A. So for a very long time, we were simply just in malls, and but opened the first freestanding restaurant in Atlanta in 1986. And that's pretty much what we do all the time now. We do still have mall locations, but we don't open a ton of new ones. Obviously, the business model has changed a lot. And so, you know, we want to have full service dining rooms and drive-throughs. And mobile has become a very big part of what we do, especially during the pandemic, having you know, places like DoorDash and Grubhub that we work with to deliver our food right to your door. Unfortunately, we lost Truett back in 2014. He was, I believe, 92 years old. And his son, Dan, now runs the company, Dan Cathy. So that's Truett's story. A little bit about my story and how I came to be involved with Chick-fil-A. This picture you see in front of you is my family. My beautiful wife, Caitlin, who she and I actually met at the very first Chick-fil-A I worked at. We're what they call a Chick-fil-A-tionship. You'd be surprised how many of us there are. There are a lot of people who meet their spouse at Chick-fil-A, but that's where me and Caitlin met. And those are our three beautiful children. My oldest, Logan, is 5. Cameron, right next to him, is almost 3. And then our baby is Madison. She is 7 months now. As far as my background goes, I had no intention of ever getting involved in restaurants. I did not want to work in a restaurant or own a restaurant. It's kind of cool how it happened. Obviously, I am a believer and somebody who follows Jesus, and I absolutely know for a fact that this was all God ordained that brought me to Chick-fil-A. My major career prior to Chick-fil-A was in radio. I'm a musician and wanted to pursue a career in music, and wound up getting a job at some local radio stations where I grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. and loved that job and did it for a while and thought that I'd, parlay it into a career, just working at a label or something like that. But unfortunately, in 2008, when we had the economic crisis, my company, the company that owned the radio stations I worked for, they suffered a lot through that time, wound up going bankrupt and laying off thousands of people, and I was one of them. So it was devastating for me to have to realize, maybe my dream of working in music wouldn't work out, and spent a while unemployed looking to get back into it, and just wasn't going anywhere. And I happened to know a Chick-fil-A operator in my local community. He and I had some mutual friends, and he asked if I wanted to come work for him. My background in radio was in marketing and promotions, and he needed somebody to help him market and promote his business. So I chose at that time to go work for him, even though for me, I thought it was going to be temporary. Figured I'd just do it until I could, find something else in the field I wanted to be in. And we see how temporary that was now. As I said, met my wife there and fell in love with Chick-fil-A as well, and just loved everything about who they are and how they operate and how they do business. And just an incredible opportunity. When I got involved with this, which was about 10 years ago now, it was still very much a fledgling company in the Northeast. It had been around a long time in the South, but was still kind of breaking through up here in the North. And, it was a great opportunity for me to get involved and learn the ropes. So I went to work there, and then through a couple different avenues, actually wound up working for a wholly different operator. After my original operator, he wound up leaving and moving. So I went to work for somebody else. And that gentleman, I actually wound up following to Louisiana. Spent a few years down south in Louisiana, helped him open a brand new Chick-fil-A there, and got a lot of great experience with just learning what it meant to, start a business from scratch and run a business. Like I said, Chick-fil-A's are multi-million-dollar operations with lots of moving parts. And so got to cut my teeth doing that there, and then applied to be an operator. Now, the truth is that right now, Chick-fil-A is one of the most difficult businesses to get into. The saying goes that it's easier to get into the CIA than CFA. But, thankfully, I was very blessed that, they seemed to like me and like what I had done. And I was selected to be an owner-operator of my very own restaurant. That was back in 2016. And got to move back home from Louisiana, got to come back up to New Jersey. And I took over the restaurant, the Paramus Park Mall in Paramus, New Jersey, which is the oldest restaurant in New Jersey and the second oldest restaurant in the Northeast. It was one of the only Chick-fil-A's in the area for a very, very long time. And the guy that was the operator before me, he got a freestanding restaurant not too far away, wound up taking his whole team with him. And I had 3 employees to start off and had to completely hire and train and rebuild that business from scratch, while also, still serving people every day. So a little crazy, a little, difficult for about 6 to 8 months, but, we got it back up and running, and had a great few years there in that mall and had a lot of success. And thankfully, it set me up to be in a position to be able to apply for the restaurant that was coming in Watchung, New Jersey on Terrell Road. And so I was selected for that. We got to open it back in June of this past year in 2020, in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. Yeah, that was interesting as well. And thankfully, we were very blessed. There was a ton of great people who wanted to come work for us. Honestly, I was scared, going into the opening. I didn't know if we were going to have anybody who wanted to work, or if anybody was going to show up. But, thankfully, we had a lot of applications, and we put together a great crew. I was also very blessed to have 10 of my leaders from the mall follow me down to that restaurant. And so that was also a huge blessing, because those guys helped me run everything about the restaurant. And we'll get into what they do in a little bit, but having a great leadership team behind me, like I said, these restaurants are massive, and you can't do it alone. You got to surround yourself with great people. So so that's what we did. We opened the restaurant back in June, and now we're going on 9 months open, and things have been running well, and we're very successful, even though we're only able to truly do the drive-through right now. And we, like I said, we do mobile apps like DoorDash and takeout and things like that. But obviously dining rooms are still closed due to the pandemic. And, but that hasn't really stopped us from being able to serve a lot of people, which has been fantastic. So it's a little bit about my story. Now I want to dive into just who we are, who Chick-fil-A is, and our corporate purpose and my purpose at my restaurant. So, if you're familiar with leadership and with, leadership speakers, you've probably heard of Andy Stanley, who's also the pastor of North Point Church in Atlanta. And I truly love what Andy says about vision. Andy says that you date the mission, you marry the vision. And what he means is that your vision's not necessarily going to change much. The mission might change as you accomplish different things. So, the vision is meant to be kind of that North Star that points you in the right direction whenever you are struggling or trying to discern what's the best way to go. So I love that. And I love pointing to our Chick-fil-A corporate purpose. This is at the corporate office. It's on a giant plaque right in front of our corporate office building. And that corporate purpose is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that is entrusted to us and to have a positive influence on all who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. Very simple, but easily remembered, and something that informs what I do every day. Obviously, I want to glorify God in all aspects of my life, but particularly in the influence that I have in my business. I want to make sure that we're always being good stewards and glorifying the Lord with what He's given us, and then having a positive influence on all who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. That covers everybody: our team, our guests, you guys. I represent something much bigger than myself. Obviously, the Lord, but also Chick-fil-A. And so I need to make sure that I'm being a positive influence, especially when I'm representing Chick-fil-A. So we take that to heart in my restaurant, but then we've also developed our own vision to partner with that. And the vision for Chick-fil-A Carroll Road is we are a family committed to continual growth and genuine care. And I love this vision statement. Me and my leadership team got together prior to opening this new restaurant, and we carefully chose and put together each word in this vision statement. And it's something that we take to heart. So yes, absolutely, we are a family. We care about one another. We give each other grace, but we also hold each other accountable. We push each other to do better. And that's where the continual growth piece comes in. I am passionate about making sure that the people on my team grow, and that it's not just to achieve, better results in the business. It's for them personally. What my leaders on my team all have personal development plans that I hold them accountable to. Things such as are you reading books? Are you listening to podcasts? Things that are going to edify you, make you better. I ask them about those things. I hold them to goals that they set. And but also, their leadership and how they lead my business and how they interact with our team. And so it's very important that I'm constantly pushing myself and the team to grow. And then genuine care is a big part of who we are. If you know anything about us, obviously we have a great chicken sandwich, but we also pride ourselves on our hospitality and the way we serve our guests. And, it's been a little hard right now during the pandemic. It's difficult to show genuine hospitality when everybody's trying to social distance and stay, as far away from each other as they can. But, we do our best to deliver that same experience, even when it's just through the drive-through and we're trying to be, socially distant and careful. So anyway, that is our vision and values. Just give you some insight into who we are. So, and then our restaurant, this is Jada in the picture here. She's one of our team members holding up one of our awesome Valentine's Day trays that we did right around Valentine's Day. But I love this picture too, because I feel it communicates care with the heart. For my restaurant, how do we serve our guests? We treat every guest with honor, dignity, and respect. Obviously, you're always going to have those difficult folks come through, and we do our best to take care of them as well. But 99.9% of the time, everybody's wonderful. They love our restaurant, they love our team, and so we try to make sure everybody gets a great experience with us. We strive to serve every guest the best we can. Obviously, too, with having just opened not even a year ago yet, we are still working out a lot of the kinks and developing systems and processes to be better, make sure you get your food hot, fresh, and fast, making sure you get exactly what you ordered, and obviously delivering it with care and hospitality. As I said, we have the best chicken sandwich anywhere. I am strictly very, I take into great account how we serve the chicken. Food safety is my number one concern above all else, because that's, we could make somebody sick if we don't do it right. And so we have stricter and more intense policies around our food safety than most restaurants and even the health department at times. And so making sure you get safe food and it's hot and fresh and delicious. And that's not just the chicken sandwich, but that's everything. Our waffle fries, which are the number one most craveable item. And then, also we have things like salads and wraps and stuff like that, it's not just about the chicken sandwich, even though that's a big part of what we do. And then, serving with genuine hospitality, ensuring that our guest feels cared for. And Chick-fil-A is actually striving to be the most caring company. We want to show our guests that we genuinely care. This isn't just a act or something that is going to, just turn dollars for us. We genuinely care about our guests, our team, and our community. So I wanted to put this in here because I wanted to speak to just my business philosophy. And everybody runs their business a little different. Even within Chick-fil-A, there's a lot of, the same things, but also a lot of stuff that, we have a lot of freedom in how we develop our teams and how we run our businesses. For me, I hold to this John C. Maxwell quote, everything rises and falls on leadership. And that starts with me at the top, ensuring that I am continually growing myself and developing myself, but also holding myself to goals and standards and pushing us to be great. And that's going to trickle down to my leaders and my team. And we put a very large emphasis on leadership in my business, right down to our teenage team members. I understand for a lot of them, it's their first job, and they might not have ever had somebody teach them leadership or teach them managerial skills. And, a lot of times you go to businesses like ours, and it's just, hey, show up and do the job and go home. We expect more than that. We expect that you come in and you actually care about what you do, and you strive to be better at it every day. And the people who take well to that are the people who succeed in my business. They get the opportunities to grow and develop and get promotions and make more money. And thankfully, we have a lot of those types of people. And we have entire leadership teams developed to growing people. So one of the things that I'm very passionate about is leadership development. And I have a leadership development director who, when you're a team member and you want to rise up through the ranks of our team, you get the opportunity to go on this leadership development journey with my director, we've developed a process, a system to put you through that, again, involves, learning things about the business, but also, just doing things like character studies and determining your best learning practices, and ensuring that, you're reading books, you're listening to podcasts. It's so much more than just, hey, here's how to turn the lights on and off and serve the chicken. Even though obviously that's a big part of it. It is also about making you just a better person in general. And so my passion is, I understand that, 90% of people who come to work for me are not going to stay with me or even pursue a career with Chick-fil-A. But I really hope that if you do come to work for me, that you leave having been better for having worked for me, because you've learned something, you've gotten certain skill sets and tools that you can use in your continued pursuit of other careers and things that you're trying to accomplish. This is a picture of my leadership team. All those guys and girls have different roles in my business. A couple of them are actually not with us anymore. They've gone on to other opportunities, but the majority of them are. And they are on what we call the director team. And I'll get into what kind of roles we have on the director team in a moment. But these are all the different roles in my business. Obviously, you have the entry-level position of a team member. Team members, pretty standard. Yeah, obviously, you come in. It depends on if you're working front of house or back of house. But if you're front of house, you'll be serving the guests. You're working on the register. You're taking care of bagging the food up. Doing things in the drive-through, the dining room, all those types of things. And then in the back of house, obviously working in the kitchen, making the food, assembling the sandwiches or the nuggets or the strips. We have a prep team that does all the produce prep and salads and wraps and things of that nature. So obviously those are the vast majority of the staff. I have 130 team members currently, which seems like a lot, but to run our business and to do everything we want to do, we have a lot of different positions throughout the day that we have to staff. And obviously, we also work with a lot of college age students, a lot of high school students, and are very flexible around their schedules and what they need for school and extracurriculars and things like that. The next role is team leader. That's kind of the first step into being a leader on my team. That is what I was talking about earlier when we discussed, doing our leadership development program, from going from being a team member to being a team leader. And this just where we show you how to run the business, how to open and close, how to handle the money, all the different systems that require accountability and check-ins and things like that. And also handling the team, leading team members, putting them in positions, knowing their strengths and their weaknesses and what's going to work best for the shift. Then there's a role between the team leader and the assistant director. You would also do another leadership development process. And assistant directors are the right-hand person to one of the members of the director team. So obviously you're doing a lot of the team leader type things as well, but then you're coming alongside of a director, helping them accomplish their jobs. And for me, an assistant director should be somebody who's kind of in the pipeline to develop into a director eventually. As we obviously are trying to move some of the director team around, get them into different positions, or some of them want to be owners and operators. And we're hoping to have our very first this fall. One of my guys, Bradley, is getting ready to apply by the end of the year. And so very much hoping that he can get in. But I need to develop people behind him to take over when he heads out. So assistant director is a good pipeline role for that. It gives us the ability to show you a lot of the business and also learn under director. Then you have the director role, which partners with me in a number of different areas of the business. So obviously we have the things that surround like the operations of the business, like front counter director, kitchen director, drive-through director. But then also we have other roles like HR director, who handles all the hiring and some of the accountability portions of the business. We have a culture director. That's a position I staff that, I wanted to make sure the culture in our business is one that is fun and loving and caring and showing how much we appreciate our team. And my culture director plans a number of different events throughout the course of the year to celebrate the team, to do, little things here and there to, just show them how much we care about them, celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, things of that nature. Obviously, that's been a little difficult during COVID as well. But before COVID, we would do, trips together. We'd do park days. We would do, Christmas parties, things like that. And hoping to get back to that soon when this is all over, hopefully. Other roles are things like training director, somebody in charge of ensuring that our brand new team members are getting that proper training in the very beginning of their time. And then also continue to retrain and redevelop people who have been with us for a while to make sure that they're keeping their skills sharp. So those are just a few of the director roles. And honestly, this partner with Pillarship is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you guys, is because I'm always looking for these types of people. And these types of people, are usually going to be folks who come from, a business background, maybe have some experience leading businesses or taking business courses. Not to say that that's, exclusive. I obviously have people who haven't done that, but being able to talk to you guys and know that you already have a baseline of understanding what it takes to run a business is certainly helpful in getting somebody who can be a director in my business. And then that executive director role, I have one of those. That's my guy, Brad, I just talked about. That is my partner in the business to help me run everything about it. He's not tied down to any one position. He oversees the finances of the business, but he also helps me oversee the director team, ensuring that they're accomplishing their goals and tasks and continuing to grow the results of the business. And then there's me, the owner operator. Obviously, I'm the only one. That's not something that's available for you to be promoted to. But I put it on here because, as I said, I have 4 people in my business right now who want to be owner operators. And part of our leadership development process and leadership development focus is I want to be able to help create owner operators for Chick-fil-A. I want to help people achieve their dreams to be their own boss and to have an impact on their community, the same way my operator did for me. And so if that's something you're interested in, I would love to hear about it, and I'd love to be a part of that journey with you. This is just my leadership structure. I think I covered a little bit of this already, but number of different people in different departments. Obviously, I very much am a relationship type person. You tend to skew one way or the other, relationships or results. And while results are important to me, I tend to enjoy developing the relationships more. But all that to say, we're a business and we need to be getting great results. So things like sales and profit and, our scores, we have customer experience scores that we need to be held to. That's a big part of what the director team helps me do. I try to surround myself with people who complement my skills, but also, bolster, me when in weaknesses. And one of the things is I'm just not always super focused on the results. And so, my executive director, Brad, that's one of his main jobs is just continuing to keep us on track, trying to achieve our results and trying to hit our goals. All right. That's pretty much it. I think I gave a pretty good overview of what we're about and what we're doing at my business. Would love to answer any questions that might come through. And yeah, Ingrid, is there anything else I need to do?
No, if there's any questions, I don't see any questions in the chat, but if anyone would like to ask any questions, this would be a great time to do so. This was a great presentation, Mike, by the way, very thorough. I had some questions that I had for you, but you answered them, some of the culture questions and how your team is set up. The only question that I have as far as the Pillar students and alumni, we work with many students here. We have a few different concentrations, and one of them is a business major. And we have interns. Are you willing to open your doors for any students who are looking to fulfill internship hours? And will they be able to be or shadow some of these different types of positions that you have available in your company?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When I worked for an operator, we actually developed an internship with our local college, and it's definitely something I would love to do with you guys as well. Creating content that will help add to your education and fulfill any course requirements that the school has. But also, I'm not expecting free labor, not that kind of internship. So, it would be a normal job as well, but also provide opportunity for you to shadow my director team and myself, and let me spend some time with you to help you understand business better and how my business works. So I would definitely be open to that and would love to talk about possibilities.
Awesome, that's great. Anyone else has any other questions for Mike?
I do, Ingrid.
Sure.
My son and I actually went to a Chick-fil-A not too long ago, and we were like unbelievably super impressed with how friendly everybody was. Like, it was an experience, like we talked about it for like 10 minutes after we ate, just how kind and sweet and accommodating, because I have food allergies, and they bent over backwards to help me with that. Is that something you teach your employees, and is it a requirement to just have that sort of demeanor, or was it just, random?
That's funny. I'm so glad you had a great experience. I hope it was my restaurant, but I'm glad it was any restaurant. We get this question all the time. You always have people, walk up to you and be like, "Hey, what do you put in the water? Why are all these people so nice?" And obviously, we hire for that in the interview process. We try to ensure that, we're providing opportunities for people to show that personality. But the truth is, it's also a culture thing. You know, when you have a culture that is like, do the bare minimum, just get it done and get out, people are going to live down to that level of culture, right? But if you're setting a standard from the top down, starting with me, that this is how we serve people and this is how we take care of our guests, and we're going to come in every day and have fun and enjoy ourselves. It becomes infectious, you know, and people start to, you know, it doesn't matter if that was necessarily always a part of their personality. You start to see it come through when the entire culture is like that and the leadership is like that. So I think it's both and. Obviously, we have people who, you know, we hire and they do great in the interview, and then, you know, they get in there and they're not exactly what we're looking for. And we try to provide a lot of opportunity to coach them and give them chances to change. But, you know, it's not the norm that I've ever had to really fire somebody for not being super friendly. You know, like I said, we just do our best to set the example, and the majority of people rise to that occasion.
Yeah, you're doing a good job. It was really, really remarkable. And it made me want to keep coming back, you know, because it was such a nice experience.
I appreciate that. You know, we talk about a lot in my business that, again, we have some of the best quick service food in the industry. But the thing that sets us apart is our people and our service. And, you know, people are going to come back when they feel cared for.
Yes, it's true. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. Are there any other questions at this time? And Mike, I did provide in the chat, I did provide your name and your Chick-fil-A restaurant address and the website. Is there any other contact information that you would like for me to provide at this time? An email, if there are any students who are interested?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I noticed after I got done with the presentation, I didn't include contact info or ability to reach out if you're interested in working with us. You know, you can send an email directly to my personal email address. It's michael.thornton, and that's THORNTON at CFA franchisee, and that's 2 E's on the end, .com. We also have a text to apply phone number. If you give me just 2 seconds, I can find it. We use a service that helps us gather all of our different applications from all around the internet, you know, the different websites we work with. And so, hold on 1 sec. Let me grab that for you. All right. So the text to apply number is 862-505-2866. And if you just text the letters CFA, we'll get your application and my HR director will reach out to you.
Awesome. So I went ahead and I entered that number in the chat as well as with the text phrase. I will definitely be in touch with you, Mike, because I'm looking forward to this partnership. I believe that a lot of our business students can benefit from the opportunity that you have presented here today. If there are no more questions, then I would like to take this time once again to thank you so much. I believe that you're also open to host another workshop in the near future. Oh yeah, I would love to, and I appreciate you including me in this. And this was the first time. You know, we can make sure we get better and more detailed, and would love to even speak to maybe some more of the business aspects. You know, in terms of, you know, just sales and profit and how do you handle those things if anybody's interested. Absolutely, yeah. So we can work on that for the next one. We can work on the date at a later time. So thank you so much once again. This was an absolutely great presentation, very thorough, a lot of information, a lot of history that I didn't know about Chick-fil-A. And your story was beautiful as well, to know that you met your wife at Chick-fil-A, and to see even when circumstances arise as being laid off, and how God opened that door for you to become an owner operator is just so inspiring. Great story. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. To the rest of the Pillar College community, students, alumni, staff, and faculty who were able to join in today, or those who will be catching the replay, you know, this is just amazing. This is seeing God at work, how he can take one circumstance and change it and you can share such a beautiful praise story the way that Mike did. Thank you so much. I look forward to our next presentation. So see you guys. God bless. Have a blessed day.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.